Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, this is your best friend Josh, and here we have a game on Jungle Basin being played between SjoW. He is the red Terran down here on the bottom right corner. He is, of course, from Dignitas Gaming, playing from Sweden. And his opponent today, DdoRo, the purple Protoss up here in the top left corner of Jungle Basin. And Jungle Basin, of course, no longer being used in the Blizzard BattleNet 1v1 map pool because it is imbalanced. And part of that imbalance is that Protoss players can actually warp in units across this chasm right here just by dropping a pylon and warping in. And it's just very difficult to deal with, among other imbalanced issues, as in Zerg is very hard to take a third base. Terran is very much favored in this map in that regard with planetary fortresses. And DdoRo is actually being sneaky here. He's building a pylon in SjoW's sort of backdoor area, and SjoW is probably not going to know about it. He's actually been nicknamed the Blind Terran in European circles because of his lack of scouting. He's just a very solid technical player. He likes to do a lot of drop play. He likes to use Blue Flame Hellions a lot. We'll see what he actually has in store for this game. But if DdoRo is successful with hiding this gateway back here, we might not get to see very much at all out of SjoW. But so far, he's just dropping a barracks as normal, with rally point right there at that ramp. DdoRo, actually, no, he gives himself away. Why did he do that? He came up here with this probe trying to stop this SCV from building the barracks. Of course, if he did manage to actually kill that SCV building the barracks, it would put his proxy gateway way ahead. But now SjoW is saying, okay, why did that probe just come up my backdoor ramp and not my front door ramp? What's going on here? Why is that probe here in my base already, as I'm just now starting to build a barracks? So he goes over there and sees everything. So now DdoRo has blown his cover. Did he even lose that probe as well? Oh my god, I think he did. No, there it is. Crisis averted. The probe is still alive, but his entire strategy for this game has been uncovered, and I'm not sure what to make of this. Basically, Marines are better than Zealots when you know where the Zealots are, and you can just kite around, and SCVs, of course, can do enough damage to repel Zealots as well. So what is SjoW doing to respond to this? He's building a barracks very, very close into his command center. He's building a bunker very, very close in to his mineral line and his command center. Zealots really not going to be very effective at all, and there's no cybernetics core up yet. The assimilator isn't even done yet for DdoRo. If you don't know much about DdoRo, he is actually the second generation of Root Gaming. He wasn't one of the original members, but he's also not one of the newest members. He joined after the MLG season sort of ended last year, along with Minigun, who is also another very good Protoss player. But these guys have been doing very well in these little clan leagues and things like that. I'm surprised that DdoRo is doing such an off-the-wall strategy here against SjoW, who is a very, very, very good player. SjoW, if you didn't know, is actually the Intel Extreme Masters European champion and just played at the World Championships in Hanover, Germany. So if I was going to try and pull some cheesy stuff like this against SjoW, I definitely wouldn't have uncovered that probe quite as fast as I did. If SjoW had just built a refinery or a tech lab or something like that, that would have delayed him so much longer. He wouldn't have had this great number of Marines and a bunker in such good placement here, and now DdoRo is basically out of luck. He does have a harvester count lead, but now this gateway is essentially useless, as SjoW knows all about it. Zealot also going to just be bouncing around here. There's no way he gets back into this base with 5 Marines hanging out at the top of that ramp. Gateway number 2 coming in for DdoRo. Now SjoW realizes he can just come over here, kill off this pylon, and stop this stalker from ever existing. He doesn't even actually have to kill the gateway. It's just going to be useless without that pylon anyway. Even if DdoRo does finally get this warp gate tech researched, it's going to be totally useless unless he gets another pylon, and it serves to supply block DdoRo. So SjoW in a very good position here, stopping anything from really happening in his base from the sneaky DdoRo play. DdoRo just running on home, getting gateway number... I'll say gateway number 2. In fact, it's number 3 because there's an unpower one down here, but it's only effectively gateway number 2 and gateway number 3 coming up now. So warp gate tech not quite done yet. He's got a lot of chrono boost saved up that he could be using on this warp gate research. Instead, he's just going to try and get some units out, as SjoW is on the move now with a ton of Marines and SCVs. DdoRo just has a probe over here. It's going to be slaughtered by this Marine, and now SjoW is coming to drop the hammer, which is a phrase I really like to use. Probably could use some other phrases once in a while, but drop the hammer just seems pretty dramatic. And you kind of get that feeling that when a player is coming over here with this many SCVs building bunkers in your base and you can't really do anything about it, you kind of feel like a hammer is being dropped on your head. So DdoRo only has a couple of units here to try and defend against this, but he's doing a good job trying to keep them alive. We see a bunch of probes being pulled off the line here on the right side as the Stalker and Zealot fight for their lives over on the left side. He does manage to stop one bunker from coming up, but it looks like this other one is going to come up no problemo as the SCV is tucked away here in the inside. Marines just continuing to drill down probes, trying to kill off some pylons and things like that, leaving the harvester count up. We can just see SjoW getting further and further ahead. He doesn't even really have to build any SCVs. He's already got double the amount of his opponent DdoRo, and now he's got a bunker complete. Bunker number 2 should be coming up here soon. DdoRo did build a couple of sentries, but now he doesn't have any cash to get any more units, so he needs to keep these probes mining as much as he possibly can. SjoW does not have a bunker in here at the mineral line, close enough to hit the mineral line, so DdoRo is okay in that regard, but as long as he can continue to micro, let these shields build back up, he might have a slim chance if SjoW makes a huge mistake, but SjoW just has so many Marines in the base right now. 10 Marines against only a couple of sentries and Stalkers. He's losing warp gates. He's going to lose this tech building here. The Cybernetics core is very important. After it goes down, there's nothing DdoRo can really do except build Zealots, so he's trying to crank out these Stalkers while he can. Now he has no gas left to build another Stalker. He is going to be confined to only Zealots as he loses another pylon and that Cybernetics core. And SjoW, there's really no way he can lose this now. DdoRo is trying to do a small counterattack here with 2 Stalkers, but really they're just stopping reinforcements. Not going to stop the fact that there are now 13 Marines in his base, killing probes freely. There are only 2 sentries and a Stalker here to try and stop this. They will manage to kill a couple of these Marines, but now it's only 1 gateway, no Cybernetics core, no real income, and the game is over. DdoRo GG's, so SjoW spotting that proxy gateway extremely quickly. He even actually tried to expand there toward the end of the game next to this dead, hollow, unpowered gateway, but SjoW, basically there was no way he could lose that after he stopped that proxy gateway. So very good game from SjoW. He did all the proper reactions, came right up back in the face of DdoRo and stopped the game from reaching a mid-game. And that's going to be it for this one. Next game, going to be 2 new players from Root Gaming and Dignitas Gaming on a new map. Let's go see who they'll be and where they'll be and what will happen.